Pleasure to have you on, sir. You sent a letter along with your colleagues to President Biden expressing concerns over the impact of his vaccine mandates, this glorified executive order that has not been litigated in the courts. But bottom line is, if this does take effect, a lot of well-trained, highly skilled Border Patrol agents are going to lose their jobs. What do you make of this?
Well, it is, as you said, this is national security. And while the president has levied mandates across the nation, when he does that on first responders, especially those at the border, that is national security, and they are already overworked, understaffed, and have a morale problem. And he's going to wind up having up to 25% of the entire Border Patrol force be forced out of work, on leave, without pay, whatever it takes. We've got to keep these people on there. And the irony of this whole thing, Rob, is that, and hypocrisy, I should say, he's got these vaccine mandates on Americans, especially these first responders, and we're all having to mask up and lose our jobs, and yet he's opened the border up to hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens with up to a 20 to 25% COVID infection rate, no COVID tests, no COVID mandate, and yet we're going to wind up losing up to a quarter of our force on the Border Patrol. It's just hypocritical. It's unbelievably just not smart. Let's just put it like that.
Well, and I'm wondering if the timing of some of these mandates wasn't done deliberately to not get the press attention it might normally get. Today is Election Day. That's taking a lot of our attention. But the vaccine mandate goes into effect today for the Air Force and the Space Force. Again, huge numbers, particularly in the Air Force, remain unvaccinated. Do you think the administration has just underestimated what the American people are willing to do to stand up for their rights?
I think they really have, and I think they're going to pay the piper, and we may find out just how bad they're going to pay the piper today with this Virginia race. It could easily go into Republican hands for the first time in many, many years in Virginia, and I think the Democrats have misread this in a very serious manner. And open borders, vaccine mandates, telling parents they're criminal domestic terrorists for going and griping as their right to do at school board meetings. This is all going to play today, and I think it's going to set up. It will set a precedent. I think we're going to see over the next few months and year.
Yeah, notice this is really only happening in states that are run by Democrats, particularly with Democratic governors. These are the states where we're seeing the worst of these mandates. In New York City, it's really tragic what's happening right now. What could be the end game here? Besides the all or nothing approach, do you think we could see exemptions for essential workers or members of our armed services? Could something like that end up happening?
I think that's exactly what should happen. The sad thing, and I'm a health care provider,
right.
The Biden administration is taking no consideration for natural immunity. I'm fully vaccinated, but I still had a breakthrough case of COVID, and I have a natural immunity now that's probably going to last, according to the latest research, probably 12 to 14 months. And they're not taking into consideration that police officers and Border Patrol agents or folks that work for companies that have over 100 employees may have natural immunity. They don't take that in consideration, and they absolutely should. And when it comes to national security, they need to sit up and take notice. We cannot afford to lose any more police officers, Border Patrol agents, or some of our critical companies that have to do with national security and of our great nation.
And the collateral damage.
Absolutely they have to sit up and take notice.
Yeah.